I'm Pallavi.
And I am Mansi, and you're listening to the Unfiltered Soulsters podcast.
If you have tuned in, it means you have the same curiosity that we have about the topic we are exploring today. And we love you for coming along this ride with us. From long, heartfelt chats to silly jokes, from all the thoughts we think but never talk out loud, from chaotic lives to happy moments,
And everything in between. This is
us.
Whether you're walking, running, relaxing, or simply enjoying your coffee like us, we are here to share the magic of unfiltered chats and honest conversations.
To remind you that you're not alone in this chaos. We are going to start this episode by throwing a question to all you listeners. Do you remember yourself when you were a teenager? Life seemed so difficult, and yet in hindsight, so easy. You seemed so confident about your future, just waiting to grab it by the horns and make all your wishes come true. But before we know it, the 20s hit. 20s turn into 30s. The 30s roll into 40s quickly. It all seems just a few years' time. Doesn't it, Mansi?
Absolutely.
But did your life go the way you planned it, the way you had wanted it? Mansi, shall we talk about that today?
Yeah, that'll be wonderful actually. This is very intense and a lovely topic you're starting, Pallavi. So, are you trying to say we are going to be unpacking life's expectations?
Yeah, more like expectations versus reality. So, Mansi, let's talk about our 20s, 30s, and 40s, and also what we thought our 20s would be. Let's start with the 20s. And did your life span out the way you thought it would?
Uh, as you say this, Pallavi, you know which song came to my mind? जाते थे जापान पहुंच गए चीन समझ गए ना. Because literally, if I think about what I planned as a teenager, it literally feels like I planned one thing and something else entirely happened. First of all, you know that I wanted to be a surgeon when I was a teenager. For whatever reason, that did not work out, and I started my 20s by getting married to my childhood sweetheart.
Yes, that was a shock for all of us friends.
I
That
know that was a shock
you,
because nobody really thought that I would get married so early, but that was just like a next logical step. Me and my husband had been together for so many years, you know. So then we got married, we went to the US, and the life in US was a little bit of a shocker for me because way back in India, way back home in India, I come from a household which was full of people, a lot of fun, a lot of noise, a lot of everything. And from there we moved to a very lonely and a quiet life in the US. So that was a struggle. I had really struggled with that
it
change.
is tough when you go from sort of a protective environment of our parents' house to a house where you have to take your own decisions, your own responsibilities.
Absolutely, yeah. That was kind of the change was kind of really tough. And Palvi, marriage by itself was a bit of a shocker for me. It was a bit of a shock. See, I never realized living with another adult will be that difficult. And plus, in a marriage, the number of compromises you seem to have to make to kind of keep the peace, keep the calm, keep the balance. It just seemed, all of it seemed like a bit of a shocker to me at
Yeah,
that
and you
time.
like we have been talking, it was early on in your 20s when you were also learning a lot about yourself.
I was learning. Yeah, I was young at that time too, you know. But throughout my 20s, I worked very hard professionally. I got licensed in the US. I started working. The one thing about my 20s that I'm proud of even today is that I did not want to be a young mother. And I had made it very clear to my husband about it. And I stuck to my guns toward till the end of my 20s, into my early 30s anyway, you know. So that's one of the best decisions I made for myself in my 20s because we spent our entire 20s just earning. We were dinks, like
Yeah.
double income, no kids.
Yes,
So we just earned, we just traveled, we just spent time together, and we just had time for ourselves, which
that sounds lovely.
that sounds lovely. So that was my 20s, but I know for a fact that my 20s were extremely different from your 20s.
Oh, yeah, my 20s were very different from your 20s, where I thought I'll be the one who's getting married and you will be the one who will be gallivanting around.
Absolutely.
And we completely changed that. And I changed my, actually, an interesting thing happened at the beginning of my 20s was that I completely changed my careers. So,
That
what
is one of the bravest things you have done because it's not easy to change your careers, especially when you're done with engineering and
I
then
was clueless.
it just happened. Okay, it
It
just
just
happened.
happened. But yes, I did, and it worked out really well. I switched my career from engineering to fashion business and moved countries, went from an extremely protected house, a noisy India, to a different country which was completely quiet, a new atmosphere, which was where I had to take on my own
New way of
responsibilities.
life
Yeah,
entirely.
so in a way, yes, we both did move countries, and but we had different lives when we went. I was single, you
Yeah.
had your married life and responsibilities, but that decision made me who I am, and I am glad I took that decision all those years ago, whether clueless or not. But yes, that shaped my life.
Absolutely. Do you remember, Palvi, when I used to call you from the US? You were in the UK at the time, and uh, Pallavi's life was as different from mine as possible. She was just out partying, going here, going there, traveling, studying, friends parties. It
Yes,
was just a very, very different life.
we lived in London, so it was a sort of a busy metro life.
Correct.
So it was a good one. It was a good time in my life. It was different for both of us, and again, completely different from what we thought our
We
life would
planned.
be
Yeah.
and what we planned. But this early 20s, as they were about learning new things and taking new responsibilities, they rolled on to the later 20s, where I settled down too. I finally
Yeah.
married my childhood sweetheart,
Correct.
embrace the married life. And yes, I agree, married life is tough,
It is.
but it was good. I think I was older than you were, so it was easier to take on this new responsibilities, the new relationships, the new emotions. So
Correct.
yes, I'm glad that I got married later in my 20s. I got to enjoy that time of my life which I didn't even expect I would.
Expect, right? And I am really glad that I left motherhood out for almost the entire 20s. My
Yes,
motherhood came around when I was very much like 29, 30. But until then, I had had for a few couple of years many miscarriages,
that is
which
tough.
we just took in our stride anyway. So you know what, me and my husband just took it in our stride. But that's how the point I want to make is, despite all of these decisions that we think you and I are making and all of that, the 20s went by so fast, right?
Yeah, they went by fast, and we were so naive. We thought that this is what life is going to be, but no, this young as a young adult, what you face is completely different what you face with motherhood and your 30s. And
Absolutely. So even in the 20s when I started, I thought like uh, I was planning everything really well. It was the miscarriages that were sort of like a slap on the face, which made me realize, nope, you can plan nothing, you know?
but you have the way you dealt with it was amazing. You are that sort of a person, I think, that you
I
take it in
guess
your
so.
stride,
Yeah, I guess so.
or
So
sweeping it under the carpet.
sweeping, and more than that, I think me and my husband, the fortunate part was that we both had a very good sync up
Understanding?
about understanding about this particular thing, where we both were very firm about we are not going to go through any of those IUIs and
Yeah.
IVFs and none of that. My husband said, looks like we don't have children in our fate, Mansi, let's just forget it, let's just use this money and start traveling the world. So we actually, so if we are to talk about rolling into our 30s, Pallavi, we started by planning an entire month long trip. Our bookings were also ready, everything was done,
Oh
and
my
bang,
god.
I got pregnant like
That's
out of the
when
blue.
that's when reality hit.
That's when reality hits. My expectation was travel, but the reality hit, and
Oh,
the rest
that's
is
so
history, as
cool.
they say.
Yes.
So that's how my 20s ended and 30s rolled in, is with all
Yeah.
of
I
these.
please tell me about your 30s, because I just feel that there was a big part of your 30s which I missed.
Oh well, we missed because both of us were new mothers at the time. We were struggling with the
True. It
reality
it
of it
is
too.
it is true, but yeah, I did miss it. So please tell
For
me
me,
some
yeah.
things.
So if I were to give one word for my entire 30s, I would just say tough. I had my two babies at the time. By then,
Yes.
unfortunately, in my 30s, my mom also fell sick. I was back to India, so I was back with her. So I literally, through my entire 30s, went in just helping her out. It literally went in just literally
It was
helping her
tough.
out and having the two babies, and just helping the babies also grow, which everything is just tough incredibly.
Yes.
But if I am given a choice even today, if somebody asks me that, Mansi, what's your favorite age, I would be very specific and say
That
35.
is very specific. You're right. I would expect people to say 21 or 16, but
No, no,
35 is
no.
very specific.
No, no, no. 35 is one of my most favorite age to be. Can I tell a little bit of a story around
Yes,
it?
please do. We are here for your stories, and you're a wonderful storyteller.
Thank you. So, at 35, in fact, I had a brush with high blood pressure. I went to the doctor and he said, "Oh my, your blood pressure is high. Come back a week from today and we will check it again. But just keep an eye on it." I went back a week later and it was even higher than the previous week. So this is a family doctor who's known me since childhood, and he's like, Mansi, something is happening to your mind. You are not in a good mental state right now. So you either figure it out and come back, or next time when you come back, I'm going to have to put you on medications, which at the age of 35 is not a safe thing to do.
That is tough.
So yeah, that was really tough. So the one of the best things I did, Palvi, was I came back home and for a week I shut myself down completely. I did not talk to anyone in that entire week, and I just figured out what is happening with me in my brain. And then I realized a few problems, and I realized how I had given my power out to a certain other few people. And that was the most beautiful thing I realized, because that taught me how to detach.
Yeah,
I completely detached myself from a lot of situations, from a lot of people. I took my power back. I literally felt all that power within me, and I felt free within me. For the first time in my life, I
that
actually
sounds
felt,
amazing.
yeah, I felt free, I felt confident. So I loved my entire, despite everything that was tough happening around me, I absolutely loved my 35th year.
Yeah.
And that would be my freezing year, by the
Yes,
way.
I guess detachment is something that we are all trying to do at all times.
I know, I know.
So it was nice that you had that moment, that
I had
light
that
bulb
particular
moment.
moment, but even though you and I were busy with our new lives and new additions to our families and all of that, I know for a fact that your and my 30s were similar in many ways, in fact,
Yes, we were new mothers, and uh, we were not working that time, so
at the
we were
time,
dealing
right?
with our lives. And do you remember, whenever we spoke about it as children, what we will be doing later in life, none of us, nor you nor I, thought that we'll not be working, or
I
we'll be
know. We'll be home.
homemakers.
Homemakers. But
And
in
homemakers
hindsight,
is not a easy sort of a position to be in,
no, it's not.
because there's a lot of judgment around it.
It's not respected, which shocks me
Yeah,
that it is not a respected
on the face of
lifestyle.
it, people say that it is something that you're doing, you're working and for the family, but it isn't. You aren't earning, and also it's just not others around us. We ourselves feel it somewhere down the line, however satisfied we are. See, for me, I was extremely happy to be at home with my newborn child, settling
Absolutely.
into my life, being
Yeah.
there for him. That I never had a doubt about what decisions I had taken. I had chosen my career over my family life. But Mansi, so many of us who are at home face this judgment on a daily basis about,
Absolutely.
and it is almost like you are not doing anything.
You're not doing much. So it just feels like, oh, oh, you're home, you're bringing
Yeah,
up children. Oh,
that
so that
is
means you're not
by
doing much.
default. People say that.
So the funniest question I have always been asked throughout my 30s, Pallavi, is what do you do with your free time?
Yes.
And I felt like asking people, what free time?
This is so true,
I
Mansi.
want some free time.
That this is so true. You have said what I was thinking,
Correct.
because one of the first things people do say is that, oh, what do you do after everyone is off to work, or if you're after your baby sleeps? And I always thought that there is never any free time.
There's
There is no
never.
weekend. There is no weekday. There's no day or night. And it isn't like, so we are slogging, we don't have help. We do have help, but just that a homemaker or a new mother doesn't have any free time.
She
And
doesn't have any free time, and unfortunately, it's not a respected thing either. So,
I've
see, I'll tell you
I've
what,
made
in a
peace with
way,
it. It is
we
what it
made a
is.
peace with
Yeah.
it, Pallavi, but I love the fact that you and I took that conscious decision, and even monetarily, it was an option for us to
Yes.
be at home.
I'm grateful
But
that time.
I always say this to many of my patients also who come to me who are working mothers. I don't know how they do it. I really don't know how they do it either, because it's very tough.
It is tough.
Even that part is very tough. So basically, motherhood is tough from any direction that we see, and I think our 30s sort of went into motherhood itself.
Yes, lot of self doubt, lot of identity crisis
But
towards later as my
do
son
you
was growing
think,
up.
did you have identity crisis through this time?
To myself. On the outside, I was doing what I had to. I was fine. I was extremely secure with my decision. But yes, somewhere inside, you do have that identity crisis. Again,
Yeah,
this is part of the reason why, when we were discussing what topics to talk about on our podcast,
podcast. Yeah.
this was an important topic because if you really think about it, our life didn't exactly turn out to be the way we thought it would. Not in a bad way, it's in a different way. I love the way it has turned out, that every decision has made it what we are
Right.
today. But yes, it is completely different.
I'll talk a little bit about my identity crisis. It was slightly different from yours. So, on the surface, I was keeping a very happy face. I was doing everything for everybody in my family. But internally, I found myself screaming so many times. I found myself drowning. So, as to keep on, if as I've always said that early motherhood for me has felt like I'm drowning in the water, and then I am moving my hands and feet, and I'm coming up. I'm taking a few breaths and again I'm drowning in water.
It is a tough time.
It is a tough time, but yet, would you change any of it? I
No,
wouldn't,
no,
because
not
the
at all.
time with our babies has been out of this world,
Yes, it
right?
has been important, and it has been a good time. I don't have any regrets regarding this. But yeah, now that our 30s went into this, let's talk a little bit about our 40s, because I feel 40s has have been a great time of my life. I feel so all the insecurities of the 20s was and a little bit of the 30s that were there. I have shed all of those inhibitions. I am into myself. I don't care at all.
So you are
And
loving your 40s. You
yeah,
have
I'm loving my 40s. I feel healthy. I feel confident. My son is grown up. I have a lot of free time finally
finally,
to
and the real free time,
the
right?
real free time to now get back to
Like
what I like to
before.
do, embrace some new dreams, get back to some old dreams. So
But you're saying that, so even for me, 40s, just like you, 40s are great for me. But I want to talk a little bit about how both our 40s began with a little bit of grief, Pallavi. I lost my mom,
yeah,
unfortunately, and
yeah,
a
and in a
few
few
years
years,
down the line, you lost your father. And that was tough on the end. It's tough losing someone so
losing a
close to
parent
you.
isn't easy.
Losing a parent is not easy at any age, I think.
It isn't, and we are in that age where our children are young and our parents are getting older, so we have the combined responsibility of both
Both
of
the
them.
sides,
So
yes.
you can't. When my father passed away, I felt as if I was feeling isolated, mainly because I couldn't show my grief.
Mm-hmm.
I because I had to be strong in front of my mom and my
Correct.
children, and I had to deal with it internally. And somewhere I feel that you don't realize once you move out of the house how important your parents are, but they are important for your life. They are a
Of
support
course they are.
system. I came from a family where my parents have always been there for me. I was lucky. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, again, like, the way I dealt with my grief was very different from the way
Very
you dealt
different,
with your
yeah,
grief.
very different. So to all our listeners, Pallavi constantly used to tell me that, Mansi, you're not dealing with your grief. Mansi, you're
i
not dealing with
still
your
i
grief.
still say
You
so.
still say so, and I still don't know what is grieving properly. I
And this
still
is
don't
your
know.
personality of taking it in your stride. But yes, the mental health suffers.
Mental
I
health suffers,
feel
yeah.
it did for you too.
Right, right. But despite all the grief and everything that we had in our 40s, uh, both our 40s went, a part of the 40s went into the COVID lockdowns. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Oh,
And I
that.
know our experience is exactly the same.
Yeah, I
And
know.
this was a place where I expected something different, and reality ended up being so much better than what I
Yeah,
expected.
true. Because when the first time COVID hit, and there was the word lockdown, which we had never ever heard,
Heard of,
and
right?
it was a scary time. We didn't know what it meant. We didn't know what the future was. And now, in hindsight, you think about it, for you and I, we have similar experiences.
Right.
It was a great time.
We had the best time of our life, right,
We were
Pallavi?
lucky
We were
that we
lucky,
didn't
correct.
have any
Untoward happenings,
yes.
yeah.
So we got a lot of family time. We got a lot of time to heal. I think the world was going way too fast.
Way too fast. We that, and plus what amazes me that as a family we became like one such tight unit that we have carried it forward even today.
Yes, those memories and those times that we spent together have been very, very valuable.
Very valuable.
The
And
time that the children got with the grandparents and the
correct.
time we got with each other,
And we got to know our own spouses, our own children, our own parents in a very different way than we have ever before.
it was like being in a vacuum because there was no outside pressure. It was just our unit. We just had to think about ourselves. There were
Ourselves,
no
yeah.
outside people coming. So, yeah, for us, it was a good time. We
It
were
was a very
fortunate, yeah,
good healing and a very
healing time.
strengthening time. I love the part of our 40s that went into COVID. I absolutely love them. And otherwise, the other thing I really love about you and I in our 40s is our passion for fitness.
Yes.
I absolutely love the fact that you and I take the effort of for getting up, going to the gym, going for
It is
yoga, going
part of
for
our life.
running.
I think that is
It is
part
such
of
an
our life.
integral
It's
part of our
actually, I
life,
will correct you here, it's not an effort anymore because I think now it's an integral part of
integral
our
part
life.
of our life. And this is a part that we have given even to our spouses. Even they have joined us and they are doing things with
Yeah, and
us,
this is
right?
all part of healing the 20s and 30s where you don't take care of yourselves or you take
We take it for
life for
granted,
granted.
yeah.
Yes, fitness has been a part of our lives even in our 20s and 30s, but the way we look at it now in our 40s is
Very
very
different,
different. We are
right?
more conscious about all the choices we make.
But because I think we are so focused on fitness, we have the energy, Palvi, to
Yes.
do a lot of things,
Yes, considering that our children are still quite young, we need that energy to
right?
face the world, to face all the challenges.
So I have absolutely loved our 40s.
That
Our
is what I was saying.
new
40s
dreams
have
are
been
getting realized. We are more fitter, we are better, we are getting back
back to
to our
some
lives.
life, some
We
work,
have done all the work of bringing up our beautiful children in a
tribe.
very a tribe, absolutely bringing up a tribe in a beautiful way. So I am loving how 40s is culminating so far for
Yeah, and
us.
now we don't care about any judgments. That is the beauty of it. There is
Oh,
no insecurity. We don't care about the judgment. So yeah, let's on that note
on that note,
take
yeah,
a break, and when we come back, Mansi is going to talk about expectation of reality from a man's perspective. You threw the
absolutely.
question to some of your guy
Guy
friends,
friends, yeah, I did.
and I have some questions for you when we come back.
Oh, wow,
So see
okay.
you all after the break. Welcome back after the break to today's episode. Did your life go the way you planned it? So, Mansi, you mentioned that you asked some of these questions to your guy friends.
Yeah, I was very curious about what the guys would say about such a topic. So I threw this question at a bunch of them, and Pallavi was really surprised with the answers because almost all the answers were similar.
Oh, is
With
it?
yeah, it was with men. It's very simple and clear. If they are in control, then their life goes the way they have planned it.
Yeah, it's
If
all about control, I
it's all
guess.
about control. If they are not in control, then it has not gone. And the patches where they have not been in control and they think the life has not gone the way they planned it, they refuse to talk about those patches.
Oh, that's
I think they
interesting.
just sort of almost wanted to just pretend like it did not even exist. I am in control at the end of the day, you
If I
know.
think about it, it is possible because they really don't go through a lot of changes in that sort of way.
Not
The
like
way
us.
women, yeah,
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 not like the women. They don't get married. They don't go to a new
yeah.
household. They don't go to a
Change
new
of
family.
name, such
They
a
don't change their
important thing.
names. Yeah, they don't change their names. So I think all their life, men feel like they are in control, uh, which is so different from us, right?
Yeah, it is very different.
For like we discussed in the episode, for me, motherhood was a time when I lost control completely,
Yeah,
and then since then, it's just going with the flow
and
and
there are many such instances where we feel that our life has changed.
a lot
With
without our approval or
yeah,
without our control for
yes,
that matter. So yeah,
exactly.
so that answer kind of really
So I'm
surprised
glad you
me.
asked the guys out there. We know what they think
I
now.
know, we know what they think, and we know how differently they think.
Yeah. So let us now move on to the last part of the episode. Here I'm going to ask you some questions. Are you ready for those?
Oh yes, bring them on.
Yes. So, will you make the same choices that you made now in hindsight, knowing the way your life turned out, or do you have any regrets?
Uh, I'll talk more about the regrets, Pallavi. Yes. So I'm going to first take the question of the regrets because it kind of really surprises me about how people are scared to say that they have regrets. I have many regrets, but I yet would not change anything because all these regrets have shaped my life the way it is.
Yes, you're
And
right.
yeah, and I am what I am today because of all the regretful things that I have done and have gone through. But I feel good about the fact that I don't feel the need to hide my regrets. But if I'm to answer your question of if I would make the same choices in the hindsight, now that I know what life is, that's a very difficult question, and I find that to be a little bit of a moot point because I can't go back and I
That's
can't
true.
change anything.
That's true.
Everything is what it was, and I have accepted it for what it
And
is.
with I agree with you on this point that every regret or everything that has happened in our life has shaped us and
Has
made
shaped
us who are,
us.
and we are happy with where we are
We
now.
love
So
ourselves. We
yeah,
absolutely love ourselves,
so yeah, good answer.
Thank you.
Okay, your next question is things you would tell your younger self or the lessons you learned along the way that shaped your life and you wish someone had told you earlier.
That's a very deep and a nice question, and I have my answer ready. I have thought about this many a times, in
Yeah.
fact. So for me, like we talked about, the 20s are all about people pleasing.
Yes.
30s goes into almost taking care of everybody around you. But during the 20s, without knowing, we give away our power to so many people around us, be it family, be it spouse, be it certain friends, whatever it is.
Yes, true.
So I have thought about this many a times that I wish I could go back in time and tell my early 20s Mansi that, you know what, don't give your power away to anybody. Keep it to yourself, understand your self-worth.
That is so
Yeah,
nice.
understand your self-worth at all times. And like I said, Pallavi, we can't go back in time. We don't yet know how to go back in time. And so the way I am dealing with this is that I have a small daughter of my own. She's young, she's just 10. She will do whatever she will do in her life. That will be her life, her choices, no doubt. But I am instilling all of this in her from now
That is a
itself,
fantastic
with
thing.
the hope that she understands that, don't give away your power to other people. Understand your self-worth at all times and respect yourself first.
And I think you're right. I feel from my side, what I would tell my younger self is it's all going to be okay.
At the
Don't
end of the day,
sweat the small things.
I know,
Just
and
don't sweat the small things because in the bigger picture, these things just don't
they
matter.
just don't matter. Yeah, but you need to go through certain times
You're
to get
right.
that maturity anyway.
Yes, you're right. So, coming on to our last question, how do you think our friendship changed and turned out compared to what we thought as kids it would be?
When we were as kids, oh my god, this is you and I, knock on wood, but I feel like you and I are like 100-year malt whiskey. you know it has
That's
Our
true.
relationship has evolved so beautifully. As we have grown together, as we have grown older together,
Yeah,
we
we have
have
blossomed.
we have blossomed, we have matured so much, within ourselves,
Yes,
between ourselves,
yes,
all of it. And I love the fact that you and I have a relationship where we don't have to hide anything from each other.
yes.
uh,
That makes a lot of difference.
that makes a lot of difference. We are each other's complete support. We love making mistakes together, we love learning from each other's mistakes, and I just love the fact that we've really become truly soul sisters.
Yes, that this podcast is a culmination of
It
that.
is a culmination of that, no doubt about it. But now that you have asked me about my 20s, 30s, I have a quick question for you. What are you
Yes,
hoping
please.
for in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever it is that we are going to be alive for?
Uh, Nice. I have thought about this a little bit, but let me start by saying that all I ask for is a healthy body and a fit mind,
Mm-hmm.
and that is going to be a basis of lot of things that I want to do. I want to be
Correct.
traveling, and I want to be there with my son. I want to enjoy the little things of life that will come along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, healthy mind and body is going to be extremely important. I want to be at peace, like everyone wants to be at peace
Peace.
eventually. And on that note, I would love to move away from the city.
Oh, yes,
I never thought I'll
absolutely.
say this, but I think that is
I
where
know city life
I
has
would
become
like to live.
really tough in
Yes.
India. City life has become very tough. So, if you were to ask me the same question,
Yes,
Pallavi,
yes, tell
can you
me.
please ask me the same question?
Yes, yes. Please tell me.
So, my plan is quite clear. First of all, I hope I keep all my teeth so I can keep smiling. My natural
Don't worry,
teeth.
we are going to like you even without your teeth.
My plan is very clear. Just like you leave the city, I'm going to go on the mountain. I'm going to buy a house which oversees an ocean. I'm going to adopt a family so they can take care of my needs. And I am going to be lighting up my doobies
Oh,
all day
yes.
long. And I'm going to just write and write and write. I have
Uh,
many books that have been rattling around in my head.
I can't
And
wait to read those.
I know. So even I'm waiting to just uh, kind of get
Get
to our dreams,
dreams,
you know.
yes. And you better have a bedroom for me.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think we're going to have houses next to
Next
each
to each
other, by
other,
the
yes.
way. I know.
Happily.
So, in this particular wonderful conversation, we come to an end today. Should we end it today, Palvi,
Yes,
now?
I
That
think,
has been
yeah,
lovely.
yeah.
I love how we are still learning and we are figuring out many aspects of our lives, right? Every day we are learning something new, and not everything has turned out the way we once planned it, but we have made the changes, right?
Yeah, and we have embraced those changes, evolved ourselves, and have
Absolutely.
recognized the pivots that have made our life
The pivots
the
is
way.
my actually favorite topic to
Yeah,
sit and think about
yeah.
sometimes. I like
The
to sit.
pivots have made us stronger and better.
Right, right. So that has been kind of really wonderful.
Okay, so we would love to hear from you all about your lives and its roller coasters and whether you landed exactly where you thought you would. Share your thoughts, views, and stories with us, and do not forget to get in touch with your friends and discuss, did your life go the way you planned it?
Friends, if today's episode made you think, chuckle, or even question your life choices, we would love to hear it all. So go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and do not forget to tag your friends.
Come back next week, same time, same place to hang out with us. Until then, may your heads be sorted, life be calm, and your
Coffee
coffee
be
be strong.
strong.